we're back. I think it's the 13th episode thing, magic, maybe. Today we're on page 20th. Page 20. So we have that to do for page 20 as well. I think this isn't going to take me too long to do. Obviously today's vlog is going to be mixed up with tomorrow's vlog. I don't think there's that much. I'll show you the template because I made that over the weekend. But there's not that much to do for page 20, I think, because there's sort of like this splash art that I can put. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the templates for page 20, 21, 22, 23. So basically the pages for this week. And then I'm going to start the outlining for page 20. And yeah, and then I'll probably check back in at coloring. So here's the templates. So this is the page that we are working. No, that's not the page we're working on today. This is the page that we're working on today. So it's just basically finishing off like thing going on between Laura and Rookie, and then they're going to be introduced to this new location. This isn't the full picture because the picture's like that big in comparison. I realize it's just a bit of a weird angle. It's a landscape picture, so it wouldn't all fit in that. That's why and because it's written like a book, there's like a lot of description-y stuff about the building, so that's why I was like, as the description-y part comes on, I'll just like zoom into bits because it has like a large resolution, the finished painting. I want to do another painting similar to that for the inside of the pet shop. This would be Thursday's page, that's Wednesday's, and Tuesday's doesn't have that much, so on Tuesday I could work on the interior of the pet shop as well. I could do that today as well if I have time and if I finish early. This pose might give me a slight bit of problem. It's Rookie just kind of like in a nebulous fairy space, pixie space thing, because like Rookie and Hamish are the same person. Basically he's the pixie that turns into the rabbit. Anyways, so I'm gonna import this into thing. I've already sort of done the text part, which is a bit different to how I usually do templates, because I've got the text there and I've sort of swayed out the text of how I want it to flow and sort of where the word balloons are going to be. So it should in theory be a lot easier to achieve all of this. So yeah, I will check back in with you after I've done probably the liner and the word balloons. So welcome back. It's actually the next day because yesterday, I don't know, I randomly got a really bad headache, and so I was prioritizing getting the page done rather than filming and getting it done, which means you have more content for today. But again, today as well, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I woke up at 6 and my stomach was dying, but it's okay. I'm okay. Yesterday I got everything done that I wanted to get done, and I will show you that in 2 seconds. That's my cat. Anyways, I'll show you that in 2 seconds. But today we're doing page 21, which is more like half a page because I have to insert some art into it, which I think I talked about yesterday, but it's not as easy as page 22 is going to be. But either way, if I finish before like 6 today, I think, I don't know how to do maths, but like 8 hours from then, 7:23 maybe. I'm probably gonna finish before then. I didn't want to take a sick day. I was thinking of doing that. What was that? What is that? Oh my gosh, that scared me. Optical illusions, people. Anyways, so I'm gonna do page 21. It's not gonna be that hard. I'm gonna do the reception drawing as well. I didn't really do much for the reception drawing yesterday. I just sort of started it ish. I kind of don't like it. It needs to look more like this, which I don't know if you can tell, but basically, it's fine, we'll figure it out. Anyways, so that's kind of it for now. I'm gonna start doing like the line art and colouring and text for all of this. First I'm gonna go eat something, but I'll show you the stuff from yesterday that I completed, the page. So here's the page. We have Lauren Lucky sort of eyeing it up. His colouring, the thing is, I was using I wasn't really using this page too much as a reference, but his like the colouring is just never consistent. I was kind of using one of the older pages for a reference for his colour, so when they're together you can kind of tell that the colours sort of changed, but it's fine. Anyways, he looks a bit tall. I would have shrunk him down a bit if I had the chance, if I thought it through, but I didn't. But he looks quite slender here, but it's okay, it's kind of a vibe. He's just like, oh, it wasn't that bad of a page. As for today's page, we have, do I have any other pages to show you? I don't think so. But that was the previous page. That was page 19 and 20, if you saw. Anyways, so page 21, there's basically Laura walking and stuff. The fact that I've done the text already, sort of, like placement and stuff, helps out quite a bit. I might start doing the templates more like this. I do want to add, like, some more autumn leaves because I realized that that's something I wasn't really paying attention to, but it doesn't matter too much because the whole point of that scene was between Laura and Rookie. But yeah, so then there's the scene where they're approaching the pet shop, and then either I want to show like the fences here and her standing or something. I might change that. I'm not too happy of her looking up and then getting the big reveal because I do want this sort of thing to be like the main thing, or I might just completely get rid of that and then scale that up and then blur this upwards. But anyways, so that's sort of it for today's page. So that's kind of it for now. I'm gonna go eat something and then I'll join you back maybe after the line art phase and like the sort of text bubbles, probably speech bubbles, word balloons. What do we say in England? I have no clue anymore. I spent too much time on the internet. Anyways, so that's what I present you with what's on the agenda today. Ooh, okay, so we're back. It's just getting hotter and hotter and harder and harder to record. But essentially what I did is I decided to get rid of the drawing that was here. I haven't done the text yet, but there was the drawing there, but I decided to get rid of it so that it's more like the focal point is on the sort of next location where the new scene is happening and whatnot. I don't know, I'm not an expert, so there's that. I decided to kind of go a bit more like my coloring for my more illustrated pieces. So what I did was I basically blocked out the sort of section, this whole thing. Usually what I do is I would block out like the hair color section or whatever, and then I would just put a bunch of colors underneath and then paint on top on a different layer that has a lower opacity so that some of these like color variants like shine through. So I might do that. I might just see how that looks compared to like my usual standard-ish method, because again, I'm not really caring too much about like standarding my art, particularly because I'm inserting parts like this, which isn't, you know, part from my thing. I think I should show you how this piece looks, this drawing, so just give me a second and I'll pull that up. So here it is. There's a couple of different like variations of it, like daytime, nighttime, that type of thing, that is going on. I just realized that some of these pixels are a bit transparent. Do I want that background? I guess that makes it more lighter. Anyways, but basically, so we've got the sort of like metal gate, and then we've got whatever's happening over there. I have like this without the, what do you call it, the fence on top. So I could just get rid of the fence, which I will do later so that I can like more explain like these sort of bits. That's going to be in the next page, so basically for tomorrow or whatever. Now let me go back to the other one. Okay, so I've just imported the 19th page, I think, just so that I can like pick the colors and sort of color on top. I think this method of coloring is just a lot more faster, but I kind of want to see how it comes across in this, so we will sort of see. I kind of want there to be a bit more red in her face, so I'm just gonna slash some sort of colors around here and there, just so it looks a bit more like vibrant and there's more going on. I realized as well there's not really that many like leaves or symbolism, that not symbolism but like tells that there's that it's like set in November and stuff, so I decided to add like some foliage, some leaves and stuff. But yeah, I think, okay, I can't open another layer. Okay, I'm gonna merge these then. Do I want to get rid of that? I don't think I want to get rid of that just yet, but we will just add, because I think this way it's gonna be a lot easier. So what I did was first I initially put color down and then I erased it using the, like, you can kind of see the texture. That's because of this brush, which I use for outlining, so that it kind of matched up with the outlining. But yeah, we're gonna have to see how this looks. I think skin actually should be the first thing that I start off. Depends. I don't know how strong I want this as well to be, because I don't want it fully to be playing around with everything. I feel like her face looks really weird right now because of all the lines. So it's either like, I don't really want to erase it fully, but I might just erase it partially so you can see more of her face. Or do I want it to be working on top at a lower opacity maybe? Maybe that's the way to go. Kind of a bit more freeing with it being all not standardized, then that means I can just do whatever. Should we move on to the hair? We might. So I'm just gonna grab this and just go sort of ham with it. Kind of light-handed, kind of heavy-handed, kind of just not really caring too much about it. Kind of do like how this looks. I might continue forward with it. It's a good idea to use a brush if you're gonna do something similar, like this sort of method where you're just painting over. It is good to use a brush that can change its opacity and stuff. Unlike this brush, for instance, like it's always gonna go down hard no matter what. Okay, let's add a bit more dark orange to her hair. I think what I'm gonna do is just undo that. I don't know, maybe I found a new way to color. I mean, like not a new way, but like maybe I'll just be okay with this. That's fine. I feel like her head looks a bit weird, but it's whatever at this point. And now I think I'm going to move on to her school uniform. Maybe it's mainly this blue. I think this is just so much more easier for coloring, but usually I just don't, because I want it to look consistent, which is kind of stupid because I should care more about the time it takes me. This still looks pretty, you know? And let's add sort of the shadows now for her. Okay, actually let's work on the outline. So I'll block this and then just go in accordance to this. Some blending in between. Her bow is like this black color, so there's that. Now I'm going to do the sort of this, I think is where I left off. So I want there to be like sunlight sort of coming from behind them, so I'm kind of giving more shadows here. I'd assume her soles would look sort of like the same color as the shoe, but I don't know. I kind of want a distinct, like make that look different. Okay, I could probably add in like these sort of like this pattern. Like I like this style. I don't think it's necessarily suitable for like a lot of the scenes that they go through. As in like it's good for this type of drawing, but I don't think I'm gonna continuously use this, is what I'm saying. I think we can do OKIE next, so we can just do the sort of autumn leaves. I kind of like this, whatever's going on here. So I think I'm just gonna gray it out a bit. That would have to be significantly darker because this is the side of the road. Color in on the leaf and we'll just make it look a bit trampled on. And this is the pile that will just look like orange sludge. Oops. Yeah, I like that one. I think maybe the ones closer to the ground are muddied up a bit. Some of these are a bit more fresher. Maybe I should just start like drawing like leaf shapes. I don't know how leaves look. Is that convincing, chat? I think it is. Let me just make it a bit more orange though. Why not? What I'm gonna do next is her, I don't even know if I colored this, but it's kind of the right color, so I didn't color this because it's not done at the top. I feel like that's like the one downside about this, is that you kind of have to be on the lookout of whether or not you've done something right or wrong. I mean, like whether you've colored something in or not, because it's very easy to like just yes color and just ignore it. Okay, so I'm gonna work on her scarf now, so that shouldn't be too difficult. I think there's like a little bit more harmony in the colors when you do it this way. Okay, I do like that. I think I'm gonna add maybe like a couple of those to add just a bit more character to it. Now I've just got OKIE left, which I'm gonna select this blue. It might be too blue, but it doesn't matter right now. We're okay with anything really at this point. At this stage, I mean, I did want it to look kind of bright, but this is kind of taking the mix. Smudge that back into place. Okay, let's add a bit more. Yeah, I think that's fine. I kind of just want to steal a bit of the sort of like goldy color from here and sort of add some lighting to it. Maybe I should add a bit of a glow actually, because then it would match up with that. But actually I think this is a bit too orange. Okay, I'm gonna call that done maybe. I'm gonna add some decimally bits all around so that it doesn't look too out of place. Okay, so I think that's where we're gonna leave this drawing, and then we don't really have much more to do. We have the sort of text to do, but I might just leave that and do that outside of the vlog, because it's very hot and I can't be asked to do more. So I'm gonna finish this off, and then I'm gonna start the well, I'm gonna format it, and then I'm gonna start the reception room. But that's it for now. This was a short one, but progress. I'm surprised that, well, I'm not really surprised, but because I had the splash art to work with, so that means like half of what I'm doing is done. But I think this is like a easier method for stuff. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a couple of like I even took the glove off. This feels so wrong to do it without the glove on, but I think what I'm going to do is just add like bits and bobs of these so that the hair feels a bit dynamic, and sometimes some of those. Anyways, that's done. So yeah, I will see you next week. Yeah, next week. See ya. Bye.